Children, so far we have seen the objects that are visible during the daytime and why they are not visible during nighttime. Now let's see the very important topic, how does light make us see things? So why we see the objects only during daytime, or during night times also we see, but when there is in the source of light only. So why? What is the reason? Let's see this is a figure. This is the source of light. This is the sun, and this is object like a ball, and this is eye, and this is our brain. So here, as light falls on an object, it bounces off from the surface of the object. See children, this light is falling on the object. This is object, this light is falling on the object. When the light falls on the object, it bounces from the objects, from the surface of the object. When the light, so here the sun is there, you can take any source of light like torch light, like an electric bulb, like tube light, any source of light you can take. When the light falls on the object, it bounces from the surface and falls on the eye. This light enters our eyes, the eye senses it. Yes, our eye is a sense organ. We have 5 sense organs: eyes, nose, ears, tongue and skin. So whenever the light falls, for example, see children, this is a book. This is book. This book is visible to my eyes. When the light falls on the book, it bounces from the surface and enters into my eyes. And my eye sense it. And send a message to the very important organ. This is brain. Brain. Finally, we are able to see the object. How can we able to see the object? Once again, I am telling. Whenever the light falls on an object, it bounces from the surface of the object and enters into our eyes, and our eyes can sense it and give a message to the brain, and the brain will tell so and so the object is. This is how the pathway will goes from the source of light to the object, from the object to the eye, and eye can sense it and we can observe. Okay, so this is how the pathway is going on. Not all objects around us emit light. This is very important, children. Not all the objects around us emit light or produce light of their own. They are visible to us because of light that falls on them. See children, this book is visible to you, the chalk piece is visible to you, myself is visible to you, you are visible to me, the board is visible to you, okay, the fan is visible to you, the chair is visible to you. That means all these objects are not emitting the light. Then why these objects are visible to us? Yes, the light is falling on all these objects and bounces from the surface, entering into our eyes. Our eyes can sense that, and that is the reason all these objects are visible. And here see, the objects that are visible to us can be classified as luminous and non-luminous. So the objects that are visible to us are classified into two. One is luminous objects, other one is non-luminous objects. One is luminous objects, the other one is non-luminous objects. Okay. See children, just now I told you that the objects that are visible to us are of two kinds. One is luminous, second one is non-luminous. Now let's see the luminous objects. Luminous objects are those objects that emit or produce light of their own. So that emit or produce light, of their own. So luminous objects are those objects that produce or emit light of their own. If you take candle, children, candle emit light by its own. Bulb emit light by its own. Okay, sun emit light by its own. So these three are luminous objects. All luminous objects are store energy. So all luminous objects store energy. All luminous objects store energy. Next one, they are capable of generating heat. This is very important. They are capable of generating heat. See children, when you try to touch the candle when it is lightning, what will happen? What will happen? Yes, you feel that candle is hot. Okay, the candle is hot. And next one, when you try to touch the bulb, yes, that is also hot. That means that these two generates heat. Even sun also. Actually the sun is far away from us, but we can feel the sun rays during summer, even the winter and rainy season also. Okay, you can go out, when you will go out, you can feel the rays of the sun, it is very hot. That means the luminous bodies. What are luminous bodies? Those bodies which produce or emit light and heat. Light and heat are called as luminous bodies. Okay, therefore a luminous object is a source of energy. The sun, stars, light bulbs, lamps, lighted candle. So what are the example? Sun, star, light bulbs. Okay, sun, star, light bulbs. Next one is lamps. Lamps. Next one is lighted candle. Lighted candle. So all these are the examples of luminous bodies. If you go for sun, yes, sun emits the light and sun generates heat also. Like star, okay, like light bulbs, like lamps, light candles, all these are the sources of energy and source of light and examples of luminous objects. Luminous objects may again be classified into two. So these luminous objects again classified into two. One is natural, second one is man-made. Yes children, one is natural, second one is man-made. The sun and other stars are natural. Sun is a natural one, this is not man-made. Even the stars are also natural. If you go for the light bulbs, lamps, lighted candles, these three are, yes, man-made. So natural one is sun and stars are natural. Lighted candles, bulbs. Okay, lighted candles, bulbs. Next one is a lamps. Okay, so all these are man-made. Why? Because these are made by man. Now you can see candle, electric bulb, burning charcoal. What do you mean by burning charcoal? See children, in olden days the charcoal is used to burn and there will be charcoal stoves also. Okay, so they used to cook with the help of the charcoal. Electric lamps are man-made objects, these are also called as artificial. What is the other name for man-made? Other name for man-made is artificial. These are not natural, artificial. So once again I repeat, luminous objects are those objects that emit or produce light of their own. All luminous objects are store of energy. They are capable of generating heat. Okay, therefore a luminous object is a source of energy. The sun, stars, light bulbs, lamps, lighted candles, these are the examples. They can emit their light or produce their light by their own, but here these are divided into two. One is natural, second one is artificial. Artificial is also called man-made. The sun is a natural one, no one made the sun. The star is a natural one, but the lighted candles, lamps, electric bulbs are man-made. So whatever, either it is natural or artificial, they emit the light and heat. Okay. See children, so far you have learned the luminous objects. So luminous objects are those objects which produce light or emit light and heat. Now let's see the non-luminous objects. Now non-luminous objects are those which do not have light of their own. So the difference between luminous and non-luminous is luminous objects have light by their own, whereas non-luminous objects, they do not have light by their own, but they become visible only when they reflect the light falls on them from other luminous objects. For example, earth is a non-luminous object. It will be visible only when sunlight falls on the earth. Okay, so that means this is the second type. That means we can't see. Why? Because they do not have light, they do not emit light, they do not produce light by their own. If you take the sun, it produces light, but if you take the earth, it cannot produce light. But it what happens? It reflects the light which falls from the sun. Okay, so those are non-luminous objects. Earth is a non-luminous object which is illuminated by the light from the sun. So whenever the sun rays falls on the earth will illuminate. Illuminate means it will we can see, okay, we can see the earth. That is why it is an illuminated object. During the day, the sun provides sufficient light to illuminate objects on the earth. So whatever you take, like plants, animals, the books, the benches, all these are present on the earth. During daytime, the sunlight falls on the earth, on all these objects. That is the reason we can able to see all the objects. But here you can see the blue skies, the flowing water, the white clouds, the green grass, the neighbor's car, and a red rose. All are visible because the light from the sun bounces back from the illuminated object and enters our eyes. So here the blue sky, yes, we can see the blue sky. We can see the blue sky, the flowing water, the white clouds, the green grass, the neighbor's car, and a red rose. We can see all these things, but these all things are not producing the light by their own. Simply they will reflect or bounce back the sunlight, so that all these are visible. When they bounce back the light, these objects will be visible whenever the light falls on our eyes. So once again I repeat, for example, if you take the blue sky, we can see the blue sky. That means the sun rays falls on the sky and enters into our eyes. The message sends to the brain. Like a red rose, if you see the red rose, okay, so we can't see the red rose in night time, but during daytime or whenever there is a light, you can see. So what happens? The light falls on the rose, enters, bounces back into our eyes, and we can see the object. That means these non-luminous objects are those objects which cannot produce the light by their own, but they will illuminate whenever the sun rays or whenever the rays falls on them. Okay, all the planets and their moons in our solar system are illuminated objects. So many of you will think that moon emits the light. No, moon cannot emit the light. It is an illuminated object. It is an illuminated object. All the planets also illuminated. That means they cannot produce their light by their own. Simply they reflect or bounce back the light from the other sources. So here see the planets illuminated by the sun. So all these are the planets illuminated by the sun. Mercury, Venus, Earth is a planet, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. So 1, 2, 3, Mercury 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Totally 8 planets are there. All these planets are illuminated by the sun rays only. So here once again I repeat, there are two kinds of objects, luminous and illuminous, non-luminous. Okay, luminous objects are those objects which can produce or emit light by their own. The sun, it is a luminous object. Next one is a star. It is a luminous object. Burning candle is a luminous object. Electrical lamp is a luminous object. They can produce the light by their own. But if you take the earth, or the things that are present in the earth, or the blue sky, the red rose, the flowing water, they cannot produce. But we can see. How is it possible? Yes. Simply, all these objects bounces back the sun rays, which enters into our eyes. The message is sent to the brain. We can easily see the things. Understand? Okay. Children, so far we have seen the luminous and non-luminous objects. Now let us see, there are three types of objects based upon the light penetration. Penetration means light entry, based upon the entrance of the light, based upon the capacity of the entrance of the light. There are three objects. First one is transparent, second one is translucent, third one is opaque. What is first one? Transparent. Second one, translucent. Third one, opaque objects. Now see the first one. Any object that allows light to pass through. Any object that allows light to pass through. Light to pass through. Okay, any object that allows light to pass through completely. Okay, is known as transparent objects. Next one, example of transparent object is clear glass. Example is clear glass. Example is clear glass. And next one is pure water. See children, any object that allows light to pass through completely. Any object that allows light to pass through completely. A clear glass, I told you. A pure water allows the light to pass through completely. We can see the things that are present in the clear glass. I told you the example of orange juice. The juice that is present in the glass, we can see the juice from outside. That means the light will be allowing through the glass. So that is a transparent substance. Second one is translucent. Second one is translucent. An object that allows some light to pass. An object allows only some light. Okay, only some light to pass through. Only allows some light to pass through. It is known as translucent. Example, wax paper. Wax paper, butter paper. So wax paper and butter paper, these two allows only some light, partially, not completely, incompletely. The wax paper and the butter paper allows only some light to pass through. That is why these are called translucent. Now coming to the third one, which is opaque. Here, an object that does not allow light. Object that does not, an object here see, that does not allow light. An object that does not allow light to pass through. Light to pass through. Okay, that does not allow light to pass through. The best example, what is the best example for this? Wooden block, metal sheet. Wooden block, metal sheet. See children, these are the three. That's very easy. Transparent means completely. Those objects allows completely. Translucent, only some of it. That means partially or incompletely. Opaque means not at all. The light won't pass through the objects. For example, if you take human body also opaque substance. The light won't pass through the human body. A metal sheet, the wooden block, Can the light pass through the wood? No. Can the light pass through the metal sheet? No. That means if the light cannot pass through, objects that does not allow the light to pass through it are called opaque. Objects that allow light partially or only some light can allow, that is called translucent. Example is wax paper, butter paper. Transparent, completely it will allow, like a glass, clear glass and pure water. So transparent objects are those objects that allow light to pass through completely. Translucent objects are those objects which allows light, some light to pass through or incompletely. Example is wax paper and butter paper. Opaque objects are those objects that does not allow light to pass through. Best example is wooden block, metal sheet, human body. Okay. Children, see, this boy is with the transparent glass, okay, clear glass, and this is translucent, okay, and this is opaque. So transparent means the light will pass through the substances completely. Here partially, that means only some light. Here what happens? No, not at all, the light won't pass. So here take page number 72. The amount of light passing through an object decides whether it is transparent, translucent or opaque. So amount of light, whether the light passes completely, it is transparent, partially it is translucent, not at all. As here the light won't pass completely or partially, okay, the object doesn't allow the light, then those objects can be considered as opaque.